Mr. Tour on the car. Oh my. And that's how you do it. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to this new video. So actually this is a tutorial video, and the tutorial is about camera mapping. Well, to be honest, I myself learned this technique today, and for this whole time I have been using 3ds Max. I had no idea that this also exists in it, but thanks to that one person who told me to do a tutorial on this, and so I searched for it, and I learned it myself too. Okay guys, so let me tell you first, if you want to get the full sense about the camera mapping, how it works and how you deal with it, so make sure to watch this video till the end, so that you get the points that I mention in it. And also I have did the video shoots for the next short movie, and this one will be a little kind of different. So let's watch this tutorial for now. Here it is. Okay guys, so here we go. So here is what you see is how will it look when you use the camera mapping technique. Actually this is the final result, and as I move the camera, the mapping is also moving. So this is actually the projection from the camera. The map is projected from the camera. As you move the camera, the map that is drawn from the camera also moves. If you see from the camera view, you will just see a picture that is not moving because it is in the camera space. That's actually the reason. And if you see without the camera, other than that camera, then it will be stable. So that's how the camera projection works, and this is a useful technique. With this you can apply textures on your environment by using the real textures that you obtain from the environment. So here we go. I will start with a new scene. Okay, here it is. So first of all, you will set that picture which you will have to work on. So from here I will select that picture. It's here in the downloads, and there it is. So I will select that, press OK, and that's it. Okay, now next step which you need to do is to set the camera as it is in the real scene. So I have inserted a camera, and I will just position it arbitrary, just approximately to that position. Match that grid to that ground. Okay, now you will have to use the perspective match to perfectly align the camera with the real camera. So use that, and here the blue lines are the z-axis lines, the red lines are x-axis, and the green are y-axis. So you will just have to make these lines parallel to the z corners of the scene. Just like you can see, that is also a z axis. So I will place that parallel to that. Now this is the y-axis, so place it on any of the y joint, y-axis corner, and similarly the other line. You can see that is also the y-axis, and similarly this one is on the x-axis, so I will place that on the x-axis, and the second one also. Make sure you do this correctly so that the camera matches correctly. Okay, with that you will hide that grid. Now I have made the view detached from the camera, and I will now make this camera locked in its position such that it does not move. So that's it. Now the camera will not move and rotate. Okay, now I have just selected a box. I'm trying to create that table, so I will increase the length and width segments. Okay, so before that I will like to create the walls of this scene. So to make the walls I will create a box. There it is, and now I will delete its upper and lower faces. That one and the lower. And now what I will do is I will flip the faces so that they look inwards. You also need to delete those two sides which will be invisible in the camera, so that's not needed. Those two are deleted. Okay, so now this is our scene. Now I will have to place that box such that it is right onto that corner. Move that face backwards up to that wall. That's it. Make sure that it fits on all the camera view. That's it. Now those two, move them up, and this one, move this on the which axis? It's the y axis. Okay, so move that on the y axis. Now we will create a plane for the floor, so you can make it from anywhere. It will anyway be behind from that walls. Just decrease those segments so that it is faster. Now you can see the table is right on to that floor. Now I will move this table box so that it joins that wall, so that it just touches that wall. You can use the top view, and there it is just touching. And now back to the camera view. Now you can move this up. With this viewport, the top view, I will exactly design it same as that table. Now what I am doing is I am moving it up so that it just reaches that boundary of the table. Okay, now just move it on the x-axis so it touches the x side of the table. There it is, we have two sides aligned. Now what I am doing is I am just decreasing the width of this table because it is a little thicker, and now it is fine. Okay, now I will delete that two vertices First of all, I will make them correctly positioned with that side that is coming out of the table. There you see now those three, and that's it. Now from the top viewport, select those vertices and move them backwards. You are getting the point. Now I will delete those two and cap that border. Click the cap, and that's it. There you see a face is mad at there. Okay, now the next step will be I will create that board that is drawn on the wall, kind of a notice board. So turn on that auto grid so that it attaches at there. Okay, now just like that, and move it a little thicker. Now I will just move it a little forward so that there is a little gap between the wall and the board. As you can see in the actual video, in the actual photo, there is a little gap between them. Correctly place it so that it is not out or not much inside that figure. Okay, so now we will apply the camera mapping material. Select the diffuse map, and in the maps come down to I had to select the camera map per pixel, that one. Okay, and this one, now you will select the camera first. Click on that and select the camera from the scene. That's it. Now in the texture, you will select the same texture that we have applied in the background. So click that and bitmap, and go to the location of that image. Where it is, there it is, and that's it. Okay, make sure to note its resolution. It's 1920 x 1200. So set that resolution at here, 1920 x 1200, and lock them. That's it. Now apply the material to all of those objects, and you will see this type of scene. So now hold that material button and select the other icon. Okay, now it will show you the realistic materials, and here it is. These are now the materials that are applied on the objects, and it is not the background. You can see we can separately select the objects. You can create that drawer also, as it is a little above the ground, so the placement is necessary. You will have to do that carefully. and you will also apply the same material to all the objects. You can use different, but that depends on you if you know how to use them. Okay, and now you can see the camera is actually like a light that is throwing the image onto the objects. I have hidden the background. You can also turn off the other tiles that are created with the image. Just turn off that, and there you see one single image is projected onto the object from the camera point of view. It's cool, right? Now if you look around, you will see that the image is not moving and it is attached to the objects that we have made. So now I am creating that shelves just like that. Just make them randomly and then position it. It's no problem if they go beyond that wall. You just need to, okay, let's first make it fully illuminated so that we can see. So there it is. The cool thing is when you move the object, you will find that which position is correct for it, because the texture on it is also moving. So you can just see what are you doing. Clone that one. Okay, hold shift, move it up. Okay, now again, and that's it. Now what's remaining is the table's legs. I can see it's looking pretty cool. So you can now just edit that plan and bring down those borders near the walls so that you don't see that texture behind the walls. There it is. It won't affect the final result. Okay, now what's next? You can see there is the reflection of that drawer on the floor, which will be different from the other view. If you see from the camera point of view, it will look real, but when you look from other side, it will be distorted. So that's the problem with it, and that one is also a problem. You can see that the texture will also be drawn behind. So for that, you can use different camera mapping materials and use Photoshop to create those materials for it. And that just needs a little technique, and that will be it. So that pretty makes sense. You can see we have just created a 3D room from just a picture by using the camera mapping. You can also move the camera along, but not the camera which you have used for the mapping. That camera must be on its own place. You will have to use another camera and move around that. That's why I have locked that's position at the start. And now you can create your own lighting at here. But you cannot eliminate and cancel the lightning that is already present in the scene, just as the shadow of that table. Okay, so now I have rendered it, and you can see I just turned off the illumination so that you can see the shadows, and there they are. It looks beautiful. Here you can see the shadows of the 3D objects in a camera mapped room. Now I have copied that material and pasted it on another one, and I will apply that on the floor. You can see what I am doing is I am now creating the specularity level and glossiness, and there it is, some shyness on the floor. So that's how you will do it. You can create the reflection also, and that's the basic method. You can do whatever method you like. I do it this way, and now you can render it and you will see the reflection of the object, and there it is. Okay, now let's render it from some other side, and it's all right. You just need to insert those legs of the table, of the disk, or whatever that is. Okay, let's change the color of the light and see what happens. And complete red room, and there it is, a little pinkish color. So I'm just showing that you can now do the stuff that you can do in a normal scene. There I am inserting a box, and its reflection will also be casted. I'm just positioning the light. This is actually 3ds Max 2017, and you can also turn on the viewport shadows in your version also. Now I'm rendering it, and that's it. You can see the shadow of that box which I inserted, and also the shadows of the objects that I created are also reflected. Sorry, the reflection. Okay, now let's create a skylight, turn on the shadows, decrease the samples, and render it. With lower samples, you will see that grain on the image, but it will be faster. You can see those objects are reflecting two times. One is actually in the real image, and the second is the material that we applied on the floor. Now we will just increase the samples and render it. Now this will take some time, and you can see this one is pretty much cleaner, looking more realistic. The reflection is good and everything is nice. I'm just moving around the viewport. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do it. I hope you got the point. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, share this video, subscribe to Spectaman, and you can watch my short movies at here. I know you will find them interesting. you can watch them right at here. They are more interesting. Yeah, trust me.